What's up, guys? It is Trev the Great here again from TrevisPaintingTable.com. Something very special for you today. These are Alienoid parts from Epoch Studioz, sculpted by Peter de Gaffenried. Hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, feel free to rake me over the coals and do whatever else you want. These are, like I said, Alienoid parts. They are compatible with a very famous group of aliens from from the far future, where they devour entire worlds. Obviously, we're not going to try not to get sued here, so we are just going to go ahead and say that they are very gribbly, and in the 40-something millennium, maybe they could, be adapted for some aliens that can besiege and devour entire planets. We'll just go with that. So, here's what we got here. We have a whole bunch of heads. These are obviously reminiscent, as the name would suggest, of the movie Aliens. As you can see here, lots of these very well sculpted teeth and mandibles. Very scary and gribbly looking. We have a bunch of similar heads. Here's more of like the alien queen from Aliens with this very ornate head crest here. And these little mandibles. These are my favorite little bits in there. If you can see that, there are some tiny little arms, little mandibular arms there on the around the mouth. There's also some smaller heads for some smaller figures, so you can really add these pieces to just about anything in your gribbly alien army. Along with that, we have a bunch of awesome bio-weapons. These are the nozzle or the barrels for some like bio-cannon-esque weaponry. Very cool. As you can see in there, they have all of these little orifices where their tiny biological ammunition can be fired out of. Over here we have some organic swords, ostensibly made out of bone. Perhaps they are bone-constructed swords of some kind. Multiple different sizes. Here's more of a scythe blade. And then over here some smaller ones for some smaller monsters. And here's some more ornate ones. And then there's a whole bunch of those. So you can get these in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and really customize your models however you want. Along with those, we have some giant claws that could be, if you really wanted to, used for crushing. So maybe they could crush something. So that's over here for some of the larger monsters. And then here is a whip that perhaps lashes, because it's obviously prehensile. So maybe it lashes out at things and whips them. And then over here we have some armor plating that can be used to add onto your models and beef them up a little bit. Over here, this is my favorite bit. Actually, this is a little like an egg spore. Looks very reminiscent of the eggs from the movie Aliens, so very cool. I am a huge fan of that. So this is all on the sprue right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these off real quick, and I'm going to show you some of the pieces as they're cleaned off. As you can see, the resin casting process leaves a little bit of flash, but that is nothing unexpected. So I'm going to clean some of these bits off and then give you a look at the bits close up when they're all clean and pretty looking. Alrighty, and we're back. So here's a small selection of the pieces that I took the liberty of just cleaning off and taking out of the sprue. I have to say, by way of review, the sprues were very well designed. Most of the pieces were sturdy enough that I could just break them out of the sprue without needing a lot of cutting or filing to loosen them first. So that made it very easy to take out the sprue. And as you saw in the last video, there was a lot of flash on the pieces, but most of it was so thin and small that I could really scrape most of it off with my fingernail. So it was actually very easy to take these models off of the sprue. As you can see, here's a sprue here, and most of this flash is pretty. Oh, I can't do this with one hand. Okay, most of this flash is pretty insubstantial, so you can really take these pieces off very quickly by just pulling them off of the sprue as such. So that makes it pretty easy to take these pieces out of their packaging, and so they can be put onto your models very quickly, and you can get them on the battlefield as fast as possible. Now, as you can see, all the quality on all of these pieces is very high. I don't know if these white pieces show up as well on the camera as I'd like them to, but they are all very highly detailed. Almost as highly detailed as, you know, certain plastic alien models that perhaps larger companies produce. So these are some of the highest quality like third-party pieces that I've seen in a long time. A lot of third-party, especially resin pieces, end up being very brittle and have a lot of warping to them, but these pieces are incredibly sturdy and hold an incredible amount of detail, and they seem very difficult to break. As you can see here, I can just bend this with my fingers and it's not going anywhere, whereas a lot of weaker resins will just snap under that pressure. So very impressed with how these pieces turned out. As you can see here too, this is the whip that perhaps might lash at some point at things. This had a lot of flash around it because the piece itself is so small and skinny. It was very hard, I'm sure, to create it on a sprue without having the danger of having a lot of flash on it. But it all came off very easily, and as you can see, there's all sorts of these little... I haven't taken all the flash off yet. I only spent a couple minutes on this, but there's a lot of little intricate holes and details on these pieces that show up very clearly. So, like I said, extremely impressed with how these pieces turned out. I'm very excited to see them on the table on your Nightmare Alien armies from the future. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. I'm going to see if I can crank out some Tyranid models and put these guys on them. I think they'll work well. So, stay tuned for that. I'm not sure if I have any unassembled pieces, but we'll see if I can figure something out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. Highly recommend these pieces. They are really awesome and look like they fit well with any futuristic alien marauding horde of doom. So yeah, check it out. The creator is Epoch Studioz, so you can just look them up, and I'll put a URL in the video right here. And yeah, go ahead and check those out and purchase some pieces because they are freaking amazing. Thank you for watching. See ya.